I ended up calling 911 saying I wanted to kill myself. And it was like right there on the kitchen table. I had my gun in my hand and like my kids and everything. Like the ambulance came and picked me up. That was really the eye opener for me.
Welcome to Vulnerability Muscle, the inspiring podcast challenging norms and helping you redefine vulnerability as a strength. I'm your host, Reggie D. Ford. Each episode of Vulnerability Muscle dives into a variety of topics such as mental health, social issues, and mindset shifts. We explore the power of vulnerability in fostering meaningful connections, healing, building resilience, and promoting personal growth. Sometimes these conversations are uncomfortable, but good workouts often are. So join us and flex that vulnerability muscle. Welcome to the Vulnerability Muscle. I'm your host, Reggie D. Ford. Today, I got my man, Anthony Wilson, with me. Yes, by day, Anthony is a dedicated concrete truck driver, but when the sun sets, he transforms into an energetic DJ, sharing his passion for music with others. In 2022, Anthony faced a pivotal and challenging moment in his life when he dialed 911 in a moment of deep despair, leading to a week-long stay in a psychiatric ward. Diagnosed with major depressive episode and prescribed medication, he quickly realized that traditional routes weren't the right fit for him. Determined to explore healthier options, Anthony turned to self-help literature, finding profound insights in Reggie's book, in my book, PTSD, Perseverance Through Severe Dysfunction. This journey ignited his commitment to better mental health through clean eating, exercise, and overall wellness. Anthony's journey to heal and grow is ongoing, and he's here to share his story and the lessons he's learned and the importance of mental health awareness. Y'all, welcome Anthony Wilson. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Man, I am excited to have this conversation. For listeners out there, Anthony and I went to rival private schools in town. We played football against each other, and I think this was one of the first, when I got to that private school in 8th grade, or maybe it was 9th grade, we played against each other, and I couldn't tackle you, bro. I could not tackle you.
I was big for my age, man.
He was
big
huge.
For my age.
He was huge. Big is an understatement. I remember specifically, there was one game I had grabbed your jersey, and you were just running, and the jersey ripped, and I had a handful of hip pad and a jersey. And I was like, what in the world? And he's still running, touchdown. And it, like, man, so it's cool to be here with you right now, bro.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
All right, before we get into the deep stories of things, we're going to hop into a segment I like to call What Comes to Mind.
Okay.
So you let me know the first thing you think of. What comes to mind when you hear the word vulnerability?
Curiosity. That's what comes to mind to me.
Okay. What do you do to center yourself or ground yourself if you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or maybe even depressed?
Man, yoga and exercise, some kind of exercise. Probably I'd say either yoga or running.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And lastly, what is one of your favorite childhood memories?
Favorite childhood memories? Man, I'd probably
running away without your hip pad?
No. I'd probably have to say, man, kicking it with my homies on the block, like my friends. I had a group of neighborhood friends on Ocala, and they helped me escape my childhood. So really just memories with them, because they really, they saved me, for sure.
That's what's up, bro. Yeah. Friends, man, the community that we have that surrounds us is always, it can be, I can't say always, it can be uplifting. And when it is, it's a beautiful thing. And so I'm glad you had those friends, bro.
Word, appreciate it.
Take me back to a time when you were growing up and what that environment looked like for little Anthony.
Oh, man. First of all, I just got to say, sorry, Mom, but I got to just say it how it was. But it was good, bro. It had its ups and its downs. But for the most part, alcoholic parents, ADHD kid, parents that didn't really have that much money. So therefore, they didn't have a lot of patience with kids because they just got a lot of other things on their mind. You know what I mean? Which I understand more now that I'm a parent. Mm-hmm. I lucked up, though, because my grandmother did send me to a private school from kindergarten to 8th grade. And she tried to send all the grandkids to private school, but for some reason I was the only one that kind of made it, which is weird because, bro, like I struggled with schoolwork. So I don't know how, like my sister, my big sister, she's a psychologist and she's got a PhD and everything. So I don't know why she didn't make it through. But anyways, so I would go to school, and it's like I would go to school with all these kids that were privileged and had things that I wanted and everything. And then I come back home, and it's like, 8th grade, like I wasn't doing it, but like my brother and them drinking 40s, popping Xannies, just stuff like that. That kind of environment, you know what I'm saying? I smoked my first joint when I was in like the 5th grade, 5th grade. So being around that stuff, like, but like I said, that's why I had like the friends that kind of helped me stay away from all that. And sports really helped out from staying away from all that too. So
definitely. So you said you were diagnosed with ADHD as a child?
Yeah, kindergarten, bro.
Yeah,
kindergarten. Yeah, they put me on at first Ritalin, but it made me like it made me like pull my hair out and stuff. So then they put me on Concerta. But yeah, diagnosed as a kid, and I mean, still to this day, like. Wow. You can see the symptoms. I was actually talking about it with my coworker the other day because she has ADHD as well, and just dealing with it as an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. What challenges came up as it related in at home and then maybe in the neighborhood even?
More so in home, just like with school. Like it's like so. Still to this day, like I can spell really good. I can enunciate words very well, and like if you give me something, it doesn't matter if it's like college level, I can read it perfect. But like as far as really grasping it and understanding it, nah, bro, I ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I'm more of a visual learner. So like my schoolwork, like my parents couldn't help me with like 2nd, 3rd grade work. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm coming home and getting all these bad grades and stuff, and then just dealing with that with parents, like I don't know. I guess it's just it's frustrating as a kid because like you've got this learning disability and your parents don't know how to deal with it. You don't know how to deal with it, and you get filled with anger and stuff. Like still to this day, like I find myself like when I don't understand something when somebody's talking to me, I'll feel myself start to get like the anxiety build up. And it's because of like my parents used to yell at me and whip me and stuff because I wasn't understanding stuff that I read. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the things just like with ADHD as kids, like we're just taught to, I don't even know the right word for it, but we're just really taught to just keep pushing. And if you understand it, I don't know. It's hard. It's kind of hard to explain.
It's definitely hard, and I can only imagine being a child growing up and like children. Everything is new at some point, right? And then you start to learn a little bit, but then you get exposed to more, and it's new. And now you're getting asked to do all of this work at a private school, nonetheless. And I'm sure that was difficult,
bro. 100%, 100%.
And I don't think I was able to comprehend. Like reading comprehension wasn't a skill for me until after I graduated from college.
Yeah, like
I was reading to find the answer to the 12 questions that was in the end. Like that was like I'm flipping back and forth. But I think like when you're experiencing so much other stuff and your brain is going, it's like, yeah, I can read this line 12 times and never hear it in my head. And that was me. I never hear the things that I would read and be able to retain that. And so I can imagine what it was like to have ADHD on top of that, and then to have the ways in which your parents responded to that. I mean, I'm sure that was very difficult, bro. Who were some of the folks that were you mentioned your friends, but who were some of the other folks, or were there adults around that were uplifting you and helping you through that?
Man, I'd have to say my grandmother, man. My grandmother really was like the rock of our family. And she would help me, like I would write something and she would help me go through and edit it and everything like that. But as far as other adults, man, I really didn't have any other like positive, uplifting adults. That's why I really love like my community that I grew up with, because like with my kids, like, that was really all the positivity that I had. As far as I do got to speak on my stepdad. So
Okay.
I didn't know my real dad till I was in the 8th grade, but my stepdad, which is my brother's dad, he introduced me to sports and worked with me with sports. And if it wasn't for that, I don't think that I'd be the person that I am today. So I really have him to thank for that. Because sports, I mean, like it puts all kinds of different like exercises in your life that just make you a better person. You know what I mean? But man, it's really like real talk, like positivity, bro. Like I really didn't have a lot of that as a kid.
Yeah.
Just because of it was really the alcohol, bro. Like when it really boils down to it.
How does it make you feel to say that out loud as an adult?
It sucks because like I sit here and like I want to talk about like, because like my relationship with my mom has gotten a lot better. But like still to this day that like I'll talk to her about stuff and like she completely just washes away like that didn't happen or you're exaggerating it. And it's because she can't face her own like demons about how she really treated us as kids. And it does hurt to like kind of talk about that out loud a little bit, but it's good because I need to talk about it more. My whole life, like my whole family kind of sweeps things under the rug, like a lot of stuff, bro. And it's not healthy, dog, because when you sweep that stuff up, stuff bottles up and comes out like in a bad way.
Man,
you know what I mean?
It definitely
And that's
does.
one thing that I've learned about ADHD is like, so as a kid, like all ADHD was you can't pay attention and you're hyper as heck and that's it. But like when I started researching more into it over the past year or two, like I'm learning about all kinds of stuff. Like I used to like emotional dysregulation.
Okay.
And like pretty much like I've always been told I've got a bad temper. And I know what that really stems from. It's because like I've never really been able to talk about my feelings because I never learned how to talk about my feelings in a healthy way because I was never taught as a kid. And so like growing up, like I'm always the quiet guy around, you know what I mean? And I'm always observing. I can observe the energy and everything, everybody's conversation. And I never really say much unless something just really needs to be said. But then when there's times where I step up and say something, like I'm usually speaking because I'm standing up for somebody or I'm trying to stand up for myself. And then I get like all built up inside. And it's because like I've never learned to just breathe, think about it, and just express yourself and don't get angry if the other person isn't understanding what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And just all kinds of stuff, bro, I'm learning.
So when you said like the emotional regulation, like I think one thing we don't get taught enough of is how to express emotions, even if anger is the emotion that needs to be expressed in that moment. So like, who knows if you had anger in that moment, that's justified, right? That feeling is valid, period. And to have a way to express that without harming anybody else physically or trying not to harm them emotionally as well, is okay, but we don't create the space for that to happen. And so I want to just sit and breathe, because you said you do some breathing. Like so like when let's say you're in a conversation with somebody and it comes up and you need to breathe. Like what is it? What do you feel in your body, and then what do you do?
So I actually went to an anger management class when I was like 20, because like when I broke up with my ex, she pretty much told me that I needed to go to anger management class or whatever. So I was like, maybe I do. So I went, and then towards the end of it, she said I needed to go to some Alcoholic Anonymous class or whatever. But she told me to breathe just through your nose and then count to 5 and then exhale through the mouth. And what that does is bring in oxygen to your brain to help you relax. And it helps me tremendously. Yeah. I mean, it gets that blood flow to the brain, you know?
Yeah, I love that. That. I'm always incorporating breath work in the middle of my day. Like when things get stressful, when things go crazy, it's like I gotta breathe. And it's like the one part of our nervous system that we can control. Is like how we breathe and how that then impacts different parts of our nervous system and our brains to calm us down or to lift us up if we're feeling, too down.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so breath is a tool. Let me use this for my benefit when things come up. And so I'm curious, fast forward through time. So you said you met your dad first time in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
It was, what's crazy is my mom thought that it was this one guy, and I met him, and I used to have this big gap right here, and I met him at Waffle House somewhere in Nashville, and when I met him, this one dude, his name was Tony, after I left, I was like, Mom, that ain't my dad. Like, it was just intuitively, like, I've always been a very intuitive person. I know it sounds weird or whatever, but, like, my mom can vouch for this statement. Like, I told her as soon as we got back in the car, I was like, Mom, that's not my dad. And she's like, that's the only one that can be. And I'm like, no, that ain't him. So anyways, we ended up doing, what do you call it, paternity test, and wasn't him. So then she's like, well, it can only be one other person. And he is like my best friend now. And getting to know my real dad, he tells me still to this day that, son, God had a plan for that, because if you had known me when I was a kid, I was running the streets and being wild. And I mean, he got locked up for 2 years, and he was like, it was a good thing that you didn't meet me till I was in the 8th grade, or till you in the 8th grade. And he's just given me so much support. And as a kid, he would come to my games and stuff like that. And he's just really become more of my friend than my father, which is honestly a blessing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful, man. And like heartbreaking too, right? To hear, that first experience of your intuition telling you that that's not the case. Why'd you say it was weird that you had, like, you always been intuitive?
Because a lot of people don't really pick up on that when you talk about, like, when you start talking about, like, energy and stuff like that, like, they start to think, like, what are you talking about? But, like, since as a kid, and I think where I developed this from is, like, growing up in an alcoholic household, I had to really be in tune with what was going on in the house, because at one moment, everything could be cool, and the next moment, you've seen a chair fly down the stairs or whatever, and just... So I've always been able to walk into a room and then just kind of, like, as soon as I walk in, just, like, feel the energy of the room and see what's going on and stuff like that. But just been a very intuitive guy.
Yeah, I think it's a power of yours, honestly, because I can sense it in you, and I can see how it has benefited you in a lot of life. And I'm glad to be, sitting across from you because of that intuition that's probably saved you at a lot of times.
Yeah. It's kept me out of some situations. That's for sure.
You wanna tell us a little bit about what the experience was like for you, being the only of your family member at your age being able to stick through the private school, and what that experience was like, because that's not an easy experience coming from a different side of town, a different upbringing, all of that. Like, that's a hard environment to be in. Yeah. How did you navigate that?
I was really good at sports at a young age. I'd say by, like, 4th grade, like, I was basketball, which was your love too. That was my love, and I excelled at it really good. So, like, I was kind of like the popular kid in school because I was just really good at basketball, and it wasn't really hard for me. Like, I never really witnessed anything like I'm half black. I never really witnessed any kind of, like, racism stuff going on. So, like, I never had problems with kids or making friends or anything like that. The hardest part of it really was just the schooling. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I'd go to school and just be cheating all the time, you know what I'm saying? But I really didn't struggle with the private school because, like, I'm intelligent enough in a way to get by and get done what needs to get done, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I was able to manage that. But I never really, as far as private school, I guess, because from kindergarten to 8th grade, I was just kind of like...
That's what you knew.
That's what I knew.
That's all you knew.
So, I
definitely
never really struggled with it.
Oh, nice. And so after that, tell me when mental health became something real for you, or something that you felt like you needed to pay attention to.
there were all kinds of red flags growing up. But I would say when it really struck me is when I had, man, I'm saying it is what it is, bro.
Yeah.
I was 27 and the mother of my child, I'm not even going to try to justify my actions because it is what it is, but I found out she cheated on me, and I picked her up by her throat and threw her down, and then broke up with her and went into my room, and then had the cops called on me and got arrested for domestic violence. And that's when it was like, okay, like, because I wasn't even drunk. There was no alcohol, there was no drugs or nothing involved, and it was like my emotions got the best of me. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I knew, like, okay, I need to start figuring some stuff out here, So about 27, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I know, having spoken to you about it, like, you are immensely remorseful around the situation, but at the same time, you were dealing with so much turmoil internally. And what that brought up for you, the triggers, the abandonment, the feelings of that. Can you tap into that and understand what may have caused that experience?
I think it's just a buildup of things. I'm the type of person to just let a lot of stuff slide and let a lot of stuff go and just don't talk about it and just let it bottle up, and then eventually I erupt, and it could be like the smallest thing. You know what I'm saying? I would say what really led up to it is just a kid that desperately was looking for love because he didn't get it from his mom, and the fact that, like, I'm trying everything that I can to make this relationship work because I have a kid with this woman, and everything I'm doing is just like not good enough. And I keep finding, at the time, I keep finding messages on her phone and on her Facebook, which I shouldn't have been going through her stuff. I know that now. But just all that just really led up to just me not feeling like I'm enough. Mm-hmm. And like, I felt enough of that as a kid. So I guess it just kept creeping up, like saying like, you're not enough. And like, I'm bottling that up. And then, I guess one day I just got tired of it after like the 15th, 20th time it happened. And it's like, man, so I guess that's what really what led up to it.
Yeah. I think you said something like profound with not feeling that love from your mom.
Yeah.
And I think for myself personally, that is something that drove me for a really long time. And it created reactions, it created responses that I was totally unaware of. Like, I didn't understand why my insecurities looked like confidence, but it was deeply insecure and shameful. And it made me turn to actions and behaviors that I'm not proud of today, right? Like, I write about it in my book where, similar situation where my suspicion around cheating led to violence. Mm-hmm. And that, like, there's nothing that justifies, like you said, there's nothing that justifies the behavior, but it was the response that we chose based off the scenario that was, whether it was true or not. And like, in my case, to this day, I probably was not true, right? And those were stories that I would create with my mind to affirm whatever I was wanted to believe.
Yeah.
And it's like, to get used to living in that chaos, to living in like just stress. It was something that I had grown so used to. And it ultimately led to, me causing harm to somebody else who I claim to love. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's so hard because now it's like, how do you reconcile the person that I know myself to be? I'm a good person. I have a good heart. I'm kind. I'll stand up for people. Yeah. Right. You said that, like, the few times that you would speak is standing up for other people or standing up for yourself. Mm-hmm. It's like, I care about people, and yet my actions I've done this.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to reconcile that. But I think it goes back to what you said. Is like, we like, this was something that started to bother me in college, where we talked about girls with daddy issues. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know how many daddy issues and mommy issues I got?
Yeah.
And we sitting there pointing the finger at girls.
At females,
man. Yeah. And it's like, whoa, like, let me check that. So that experience happened. What did you take from that? Or was it a route of like, okay, I need to go get some help, or was there anything forced upon you?
I actually ended up making a song about it. It's called Better Me. But it just forced me to, I'll say this, I never put my hand on her again when we got back. Like, even, you know what I mean? Like, it just really forced me to take a step back and look at myself and be like, hey, bro, like, you got to check your emotions. To move forward, I would probably say the next step was of me just realizing about like mental health and really taking it seriously. I'd say that was more of like a warning shot, but it wasn't until like that 911 call that you were talking about in my introduction. That's what just really sparked everything. And
set the tone for this. So where were you? How old were you?
I was 32, 31. No, I was 31. Living with the mother of my child at her house. We're having a kids party, sleepover. We got my girl's best friend's daughter over, her son over. We got our two sons. Well, technically, my biological son and then her son over there. I mean, we got kids over there, and I had actually recently left my job, so I started smoking marijuana, started self-medicating, and drinking and all that stuff. And then like one thing led to another, and I just felt like, I know this sounds crazy, but like I felt like, because I had like an insurance policy out with her. It was like $1 million insurance policy. Like if I died, like it was going to go to her. And for some reason, like I was just getting paranoid, I guess because of the marijuana and the mix of the alcohol. I thought that she was wanting like her ex-boyfriend to like come kill me. And I thought he was coming to kill me that night. And I know it's crazy, but anyway, so I wanted to just walk out into the woods and kill myself. And I ended up calling 911 and saying I wanted to kill myself. And it was like right there on the kitchen table. I had my gun in my hand and like my kids and everything. Like the ambulance came and picked me up. It was just a whole scenario.
Wow.
But
wow.
that was really the eye opener for me. That started my journey to where I'm at now with mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it feel in your body to recount that memory?
Honestly, it's almost like it needed to happen in order to get rid of my self-destructive habits that I was just doing over and over, like thinking like it's normal, like this alcohol consumption that I'm doing, because like I'm 23% Scottish, 17% Irish. Like I can drink some whiskey. And bro, it's not good what it was doing to me. Like I'm just self-destruct. I'm killing myself. I'm poisoning myself, you know? So honestly, it was needed for a rebirth.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of how I look at it. At the time, I didn't see it like that. I'm in a psych ward with some crazy people, like, which I ended up making friends with. It's kind of weird. But anyways, yeah, at the time, it didn't feel so good. But like looking back on it now, 4 years ago, it was needed.
Wow.
It was needed for a rebirth.
That rebirth. Yeah. So I'm thankful, right? I'm thankful that experience didn't turn into somebody murdering you or you hurting yourself, and that you are here. And you had this rebirth, and I mean, it's led you down a path of healing, of doing so much.
100%, bro. Like, I never thought that I'd be waking up excited to do yoga at 5 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it, bro. I love it though, because the clarity it gives me, like, to get the rest of my day done.
Yes,
like, it's just like it's amazing.
Yes,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
man. Yoga. I started yoga in after football, like right after football in college. We did a little yoga in football, but like a few poses. But then right after I was done, so call it like 2012, 2013, I started yoga. And it was, something I was doing just for the physical benefits, because I wanted something that wasn't lifting heavy weights, hurting my joints, hurting my knees and things. And so I got into it for that. But then I realized like, oh, this is changing things. Like my breath, which for most of my life was shallow. It's like it was real shallow, and I never could really even, like, if we tried to take a deep breath, my breath would stop. Like it just stopped.
Yeah.
my breath was expanding, my clarity, my mental clarity was better, and my ability to, in those moments, like where it would be like where people would call me bipolar back in the day because dang, you just snapped, you just did this, and it was like those were moments where I was triggered, and I was acting in response to the threat that my body was experiencing. It wasn't bipolar disorder, and I've interviewed some folks who describe their bipolar disorder and what that looks like when they're having different episodes. But like I'd be triggered and like you're bipolar, but it's like no, I just didn't have any coping mechanisms in those times when I was triggered to de-escalate the situation for myself.
Yeah.
And so yoga gave me the ability to do that. Like it's like because you get in a position, you're in a pose, and you're like, what? I'm ready to run.
Yeah.
But if I breathe, if I take a couple breaths, I realize that this is temporary, and that this discomfort and this chaos will soon end. And that was the metaphor for life. Like
That's deep.
So much of all of this distraction and all these things happen in real life. And it's like, okay, no matter what, the greatest stress that I'm dealing with right now is temporary. Or I can presence myself to where it may be as soon as I walk out the door I'm going to experience, or as soon as I walk in the door I'm going to experience. But for the moment, I'm not out that door. I'm not in. I'm peaceful.
Yeah.
And that, man, it's been so helpful for me, bro. So I'm glad to know that you practice yoga to center yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Because like in your book, like in the introduction part of it, like you say, like there's different things that you might do. Like this is what works for me, which is like, yoga, exercise, journaling, stuff like that. Like yoga might not work for other people, you know what I mean? But for the people that it does help, like they understand like what it does for them, you know what I'm saying? So for the people out there, if yoga works for you, that's cool. And if you want to try it and it doesn't work for you, it's all good because there's other methods that'll work for you, that'll bring you that kind of clarity. So yeah.
And I'll say like for those who've experienced trauma, Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, author of The Body Keeps the Score, which is a great book if you haven't read it, but it talks about, how our bodies store trauma and what that looks like, how it presents. He will argue that yoga is more effective than any medication, than many forms of therapy in helping people, process and deal with their trauma. And so I love it. I love it, and I will continue to do it for the rest of my life. And tell me about some other forms of healing that you've gone through.
Well, I would like to bring up one, but I don't know. Like, are you cool if I talk about?
You can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
So, like, when I go to like Colombia to South America for? All right, cool. So, what really led up to this was I do this thing called Ayahuasca, which is a plant medicine over in South America, and what led me to it was I was in Houston, Texas, with my sister, and at the point, like, I had to have been, like, I'm not bipolar, but I had to have been somewhat manic because, like, I was drinking a lot. This is in 2022. I was drinking a lot, going to the strip club, spending ridiculous amounts of money, going through my savings. And then, but at the time, I was meeting Cubans. And I told my sister, I said, man, I'm going to go online and I'm going to go on, like, a Latin dating site. Bro, I was determined, bro. Like, and she's laughing exactly how you laughing now. She said, well, go ahead and do it, big bro. I said, all right. So I did it. And I met this lady called Catalina Arciniegas. And long story short, she was my calling to ayahuasca. They say that you get a calling whenever you're ready for it. And like looking back on it now, like she was my calling because she led me out there. And what it is, it's a plant and a vine that are in two different parts of the Amazon jungle, like separated by thousands of miles away or how many ever miles away, but they're just brewed together with water, and that's it. And it's like a 2 or 3 day cooking process, and it's DMT, which is dimethyltryptamine, which is what we have in our brain that helps us dream. That is technically what causes the visions that ayahuasca brings you, and they call it like a grandmother spirit. Yeah. Because you've got all these different plant medicines. Like technically, like if we're talking about it, like marijuana is like a spirit medicine. Like I'm not gonna say like a medicine. Well, it is because it helps with like arthritis and stuff like that. But like they say that these different medicines have like different energies. And this is like a grandma energy, like a feminine spirit. And, bro, it's so transformative what it's done for me. Like, it's turned me from going to strip clubs, spending thousands of dollars looking for love in the wrong places, doing drugs, some other things I don't want to say on the podcast, to I'm like 6 months alcohol free.
Nice.
I haven't smoked weed in probably 3.5 years.
Man, come here.
Clean eating, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of like self-help books, just really trying to dive and evolve into a better person. And like I want to speak on it like very wisely, because like the way that it's viewed upon in North America, it's like considered a drug. And
right.
Bro, like this stuff like is not a drug. And like these people who give you the medicine, they're these titans that their families have been doing this for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And it's been in their lineage forever. Like they've been doing this stuff since a kid. Like they give it to them as babies, like in the Amazon jungle.
Wow.
And bro, it just helps you. What it does is it forces you to see things and deal with them. Like for instance, like my cousin was talking about how she goes to therapy. And she's like, when they start talking about like traumas, like childhood traumas and stuff, like she doesn't like to talk about it. And she starts to steer away from it. But what this ayahuasca does, you ain't steering away from it. And if you're trying to steer away from it, it sucks. Like it's going to put you in like a state of just, you're not getting away from it, bro. And it's like a 6 or 7 hour thing. So like the trick to it, at least that I found for myself, is realizing it's showing you this stuff for a reason, and then just sit there with it. And then it makes you see things from a different lens and like a different perspective, like certain things that you've gone through in your life that has allowed me to forgive a lot of people in my life that have done me wrong. It's actually inspired me to write this book along with you, like, because like reading your book and like knowing you on the field and stuff, it's like, man, this dude was going through all this. And it's like, I had no idea, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it was really inspiring how you carried yourself on the field and just the short interactions that we had, but like, yet you were going through all that, you know what I'm saying? And so what I was getting at is that it's inspired me to write this book. It's called Love, Forgive, Live. And because actually what all these tattoos are about, like this whole arm, I've got the jaguar, which it has showed me for, it is my spirit animal, but it has told me like this is for you to realize that like you need to gain control of your emotional intelligence, because you are a strong being and you have a strong energy force, but you have to learn to control your emotions. So that's what this tattoo really represents for me. And then this one, it's a hand holding a rose.
Okay.
And it's told me that like I've got to start giving myself more self-love, which is eating right, dropping the alcohol, dropping the drugs, like, and it's like this medicine that has given me this visions. Like,
wow,
it's weird, you know what I'm saying? And then the last time I went, I got love right here. Okay. And then I got this cross right here. And it pretty much told me that like I was done with like these past 4 years have been like me learning about love and how to reopen back up my heart, because I have to do that first in order to really truly forgive. So right now when I'm writing on with this book, it's going to be a 3-volume series, and the first one's going to be about love, but it's going to talk about all my childhood traumas and my addictions with alcohol and drugs and women and all this other stuff that have led me up to the point to where I had to make that 911 call, and then talk about what plant medicines have done for me, because it says that I must truly learn how to love so I can come from a place of love to learn how to forgive, so that then I can truly live my life. It's pretty much kind of like what, and it's going to be different for everybody. Like not everybody gets, like I can write and journal when I'm like on this medicine. Like, yeah. And there's people that tell me like, yo, bro, I don't know how you, bro, I was over there slumped like I couldn't even lift my hand type stuff, you know, but it's an amazing medicine, bro. It is.
It has done amazing things for you, and I'm so glad to hear some of those, accomplishments of not even accomplishments, just like the periods of sobriety that you've had.
Yeah.
Like that in itself is huge. And then you get these visions and it leads you down to a place of bettering yourself. Like you've become a better person. Not that you needed to improve who you were as a being, but living a healthier life because of it.
Yeah.
And it, like, I'm curious, like, just like, take me through, because I don't know what a ceremony looks like. Are you being guided? Are you self-processing this? Is there you said a name?
Yeah. So the one thing that I got to say about this is you really have to do your research and find the very reputable places. There's many reputable places over in Colombia, but there's also people who do it just to really try to profit from it and not do it correctly. Mm-hmm. But yes, they're like, so when I go over there, it's like a week-long retreat. Mm-hmm. And like when there's this place that I'm going to recommend. It's called La Ceiba.
Okay.
And when you get there, you meet everybody. There's usually about 15 to 20 people. And you don't take the medicine the first night. They tell you about the medicine, the process, what to expect, all this other stuff. They have a doctor there that is checking all vitals, everything, every day. Like if your vitals and your blood pressure are too high, by the time it's time to take the medicine, they won't let you take it because it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's
high risk
liability for them. Okay. You know what I mean? So like they've got a doctor there on staff. And so anyways, when you get there, talk everything, the next day, you wait till like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night, you start to get ready for it.
Are you fasting? Is that part of it?
Oh, yes. Okay. So even before you go to the retreat, they tell you that for 2 weeks, like no meat, or shall I say no red meat, like no fried foods. And they give you a list of things that you can't eat. No alcohol, no drugs. If you're taking SSRIs, they want you to be off of them for at least a month, like depression medicines and stuff like that. If you can't do that, then they tell you to, just not even come because the medicine doesn't mix well with that. So yeah, there's a fasting method like 2 weeks before the ceremony, and so fast forward and back to the ceremony. Yeah, you take the medicine at like 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and it's given to you by the Taita, and you walk up to him, and he's got this cup, and he just kind of reads you, and he fills the cup up to what he thinks you need, and you take that cup, and then you go lay down. You're all outside, like on mats, like near each other, out like under the stars, like, and it's nice. It's nice why they set it up, and then you just let the medicine do its work, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's just you. It's like when you say like you start to see these things and you start to have visions, like it's all coming to you from you.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like it's like I've actually got my journal here I've highlighted just a couple of things that like
I like that.
Yeah, so like when I go there, like you don't have to journal, but they highly advise you to journal. Mm-hmm. So that way you can integrate afterwards and go back and read the stuff. So like I put stars by the things that I think would be important for today.
Yeah.
So like the first one that I starred was like Love Friday Night General Retreat. Anthony, you are beautiful. Know that and share it because you have so much love to give. It's selfish not to.
That's dope.
But it'll make you think some deep things. So like right here, when you care about what others think, the turquoise gold bright purple light dims, which was like this energy that was just like, have you ever seen the Avatar? The movie The Avatar? Yeah. You know the Tree of Souls?
Yeah.
Like imagine that energy and that life force. Like that's the best thing that I can describe it as. But when you care about how you feel, oh baby, do the lights come on? Thank you. If you try to control me, my dear child, the lights won't glow. But if you love me and let me run free, then I will show you the lights of the universe. You should be able to feel balanced like you do now, son. If you don't go back and figure out what is causing you to feel this unbalance, You should be healthy, son. You are only 34, still so young. And I've only got like 2 more things.
Yeah, no, you good. I'm loving this. You ain't got to rush through it.
This was Thursday morning at 2:50 a.m. Like, I'm looking at my watch and like writing it like 2:50 a.m. Don't let fear get in your way. It's a coping mechanism that keeps you away from uncomfortable positions. In order to grow, we must embrace uncomfort, or we shall forever remain the same. Wow, chase love and watch what I can help attribute to positivity in the world.
Let's go.
And then, and then just some other, and then one more thing. Nah, I'm not even sitting here trying to find it.
I saw one where the star was on the inside.
Oh, here we go. This one right here. So, Jue also reminded me the importance of being who you truly are and remain in that energy. We look outwards so much for answers when all along the answers we seek are usually within. Maybe that's why depression and anxiety are so common these days in America, because we forget how to look inwards for happiness and understanding. Society has us looking outwards for understanding, acceptance, and how to live through material things. This is not the way, nor will it ever be. We must dig back and find the roots of our ancestors and our DNA through clean eating, exercise, meditation, and yoga to tap into the water within us that gives us life, which flows through us with our ancestors in the same water. And like, it's just
wow.
Like,
wait. Let's let that breathe. That you wrote that.
Yeah, bro.
You wrote that.
Yeah.
Bro, that's some Buddha-esque type writing.
And bro, what's crazy is like, this can't even touch on what you're seeing,
wow.
and what it's making you feel within. And like, I'll make this short. Like, there's a lot of people there that fight it, and the reason why they fight it, I feel like, is because they came there for a quick fix, thinking that it was just going to show them like, how do I do this, and this, and give me the answers? And like, that's not how this medicine works. And what I feel like people who truly have already done some kind of therapy work, like been going to therapy and trying to better themselves already, are the people that's really going to benefit from it, because it's going to show them stuff, and they're not going to try to fight it because they're already trying to work on themselves. So therefore, they're going to let it unfold and show them how to better themselves.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So that's the best way I can describe it.
Bro, you dropping bars in there, like straight bars in there. And like, it's like, you could have told me that, some of the greatest philosophers wrote what you just wrote. Like, honestly.
Oh, word. I appreciate it.
Like, seriously, bro. It was so
I write
profound.
that on the medicine. Yeah.
That is wild. One thing I did notice, and I wasn't trying to read much, but like, I saw love a bunch of times. I just saw love. That's a powerful thing. Is that you feel, so that's what it's been bringing out of you.
So for the past 4 years, I felt like my calling to ayahuasca is literally this love, forgive, live, because the first night I ever did it was in January 2022. And it showed me, and like, I've got it written down in like a pre-phase on my book and everything. And like, I got a coach that's helping me write it. That's over in Colombia that does plant medicines.
Nice.
And so she's gonna help me edit it and stuff. And it's really cool. But what was I saying?
The love.
Oh yeah, the love. It showed me the first night as I was going to sleep at like 5 a.m. It said, "Love, forgive, live. Don't try to figure me out." Because I'm thinking like, man, should I make this a mixtape? Should I make this like, I'm hype about it because of what it showed me, this feeling like of love that it's given me, because it's shown me like in kaleidoscope, like this beautiful thing. And then it's like, do you see this? And I'm like, yes, I do. And then it's like, this is you, this is your soul. You have this to tap into, but the only way for you to tap into this is to go through this journey of love, forgive, live. And right now I'm just in love. And like, that's what getting this love ended this chapter. And that's why I'm writing this book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, I want to tell you, like, you said that the intuitive nature that you had may be weird to some people, the energy and all that. And like, it will be weird to some people. But there are communities of people who will understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
And you've probably come across some of those, and that's why this place feels so safe for you.
Yeah, bro, because because let me say this about Colombia, bro. Like, a lot of people have, like, Colombia has like this stigma put on it. Like, from Pablo Escobar and everything, like people think, oh, Colombia, drug trade and everything. And it's like, bro, that was back in the 80s and 90s. Like it is 2025. It has completely changed over there. And there are some of the most amazing people over there that I've met. And you hit it dead on that I have found like a tribe over there that I can speak freely and not feel crazy. And there's so many people that are just brewing. Like I've met people that are from Brentwood that live there now, people my age, and like have written books and best-selling books, and they're over there just working on themselves, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's and what really gets me is that there's people in the mountains over there that have nothing, but are so happy.
Yes.
And talking with them and being in their presence and just hearing them speak and feeling their love and energy really has made me come back here and be like, dude, I have so much. Why can I not feel that? And so like that's where I'm at right now.
Why do you think that is? What about our society makes that the case?
Man, so in America, like from birth, like we're given like a social security number to like for them to keep up with how we can benefit the government. So like what I'm pretty much, without getting into all that stuff, like we are put here to generate money and generate money for other people. And they don't want us to figure out how to be successful for ourselves. Man, it's a hard one, bro.
Deep.
It's deep, bro, because you can go into it, and we don't got that much time to really get into it, but like...
How you know? We got...
But yeah, bro, it's deep.
It is, man.
It's deep.
And I think like it's reading between some of the lines. It's like capitalism in a capitalistic society. It is very money driven, profit driven, production, and those things. Like I'm reading Myth of Normal right now, by Gabor Mate. And like when you think about like all of those things, we say it's our second nature to grind. It's our second nature to, but like it's not natural for us. Like our nature is spending more time outside than indoors.
Yes.
Without looking at screens, looking at trees and dirt and animals and being in the sky.
Yeah.
And yet we in our modern society have lost touch with all of that. And so it makes total sense to me that you going to Colombia, experiencing nature in a whole different way, experiencing people who accept the universal forces that who see that this thing grew out of the ground. This is a gift from our divine to heal me, and it's giving you these benefits. All right.
Bro, we're going to have so much good conversation. Sorry. Like later on down the road. But yeah. Because you got it. You got it.
I understand it. I understand. And we are, we talk about it. Like we're in the Matrix. I was just talking to my buddies about this. Like they show up to their job. They hate their job. And they're like, but I'm a part of it. I'm stuck in the Matrix. I'm stuck in this rat race. I'm stuck in it all. And what do we say when we go on vacation? We unplug, right? Like we're unplugging from the Matrix, we're disconnecting from the Matrix. And the Matrix is like not this woo-woo thing. Like it is the society, it's the capitalism, it's the drive, it's the go, it's the 24/7. And that's not how we were built. It's not what we were evolved to endure and sustain. Like true peace and happiness comes from, like you said, it's people in the mountains who have materially very little. But emotionally and spiritually, I bet they are so much better than we are.
And thinking on it, like growing up in a capitalist like society, like we're stripped away from our parents at a very young age to go to school, to where these people that are in the mountains, they grow up with their family the whole time from when they're, from a kid to 15, 16, and like they just develop like this sense of love with their family that can't be broken. You know what I mean? And like one thing to bring up is like with the mother of my child, like she brought the house and bought everything in her name, and she had like, I'm living in a nice house, bruh, like nice house on 10 acres, like got everything that I could want from the outside looking in on Facebook, and from all my family and friends. Like they think that like I'm balling, I'm big balling, I'm doing my thing, I should feel great inside. And it's crazy because, bro, I felt so small. And like now that I live with my mom, I moved back in with my mom after I broke up with her, and like I'm staying in a camper on my mom's property, and just the spiritual involvement that I've been going through just in the past 4 months, and being able to reconnect my relationship with my mom, bro, has like I'm happier than I've been in so long, bro. And it's crazy because I went from having all this and I've minimized down to this. And it just goes to show that, like, bro, like this material stuff don't get me wrong, it brings comfort and, you know, stuff like that. And you can have convenience and fun, you know what I'm saying? But
it's deeper than that.
It's deeper than that. And that's what society tells us what makes us happy is having all these material things, bro.
It's so true.
And it's not it, dog.
Yeah.
It's not it. Don't get me wrong, plan for your retirement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also, don't just let work stress you out to the point to where you go home and you fight with your wife because of how stressed out work makes you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
This is a question I used to ask everybody that I interviewed with, like in corporate America and all that. But how do you today? Well, how did you back then, and then how do you today define success?
So when you say back then, are we talking like high school, 20, 22?
Let's say, like when you had the realization, right before you had the realization, when you had the property, the house, all that, and from the outside looking in, you know, the world would have been like, he's balling.
Yeah.
How did you define success before having that realization to now?
I would define having success of having a very attractive wife, having a hot car, like I had a BMW, having a house that I'm not like a mansion, but as long as you guys, because where I grew up, you know what I'm saying, like a 3,000 square foot house, brand new. I mean, that's balling. You know what I'm saying? Having money in the bank to go on vacations and being able to go party and drink and, you know, kick it like how we wanted to kick it when we were kids, because we saw this on music videos. Like, that's how I define success. And that was then. And now how I define success is doing landscaping for my mom and seeing the joy that brings her. Like me and my son just did this past weekend. Like when I go and I stain her deck and she sees like how hard that I'm doing, like just really making family unite again, because my family has kind of been split, which you understand that oh so well from reading your book. So you understand, I don't even got to go into that. But knowing what it's like for a family to split, and then being able to be the person to kind of help glue it back together in a way. That's what success looks like to me, to really help unite family, because that's really what like, that's all you got when it all boils down to it, is your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's going to have your back? Like, I remember reading this one quote. It's like, if the Nazis came again or something like that, and somebody had to hide you, and they knew that they could be killed for it, who's going to do that for you? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, like if you really think about it, not many people accept like your family. Like, you might, if you got some friends that'll do that, them are some solid friends, and you need to do whatever you can to keep them in your energy field. You know what I'm saying? But like, really and truly, like family, like family will do that for you.
Wow, man, that's beautiful. And before we close out, I got a segment called, or just fill in the blank, right? So you let me know the first thing you think of, and it can be as short or as long as an answer as you want it.
All right.
Vulnerability makes me feel blank.
In the past, vulnerability made me feel scared. Now, in my journey, vulnerability makes me feel courageous.
That's dope. My greatest strength is blank.
My greatest strength is to keep the harmony between people and to help people unite.
If I could tell Lil Anthony anything, I'd say blank.
Man, it's the first tattoo I ever got right here. If you listen to your fears, you'll never know the great person you're meant to be. So I tell Lil Anthony, don't listen to your fears, because they're only going to slow you down.
Wow. And lastly, I am living for blank.
I am living, that's a hard one. I'm still figuring that out, I guess. But if I had to give it an answer, I'm living for others, because without helping others, well, no, let me change that. No, I got to live for myself, because if you can't love yourself, then how do you if you can't love yourself and take care of yourself, how do you expect to be able to take care of others? So I guess really and truly, I need to live for myself so that I can help others.
It was beautiful watching you work through that mentally. Like, just sitting here watching that was so dope.
I was just trying to give up. I mean, I'm just like, no, let me rewind. Just trying to be real about it. So
that's real, bro. I love that, man. Anthony, is there any final thoughts, any last things on your chest, any burning things you want to get out into the world that you haven't said yet?
Yeah, I do want to say something. People with ADHD, you're not dumb. You just learn different. And I want you to know that, because I struggled with being called dumb my whole life. And I know that at times, like, it's hard for me to talk about what I want to talk about. And I'm finding my strengths. Like, one of them is writing. And I hope that you find your strength to help you not feel dumb, because you have a lot of stuff to give. You have a lot of love and a lot of energy to give. And I hope that y'all find that. So keep fighting.
Wow. That's beautiful, man. That's so beautiful. If people, because I mean, you're going to have a book out and it's going to be a bestseller, and we're going to be back and we're going to be talking about that. But like, if people want to reach out to you, if they want to host you or have you for DJing or whatever it is, like, how can people reach you?
Mainly through Instagram, at Nashvillian Foodie, because I'm a true Nashville native. So at Nashvillian Foodie. And that's how you can reach me on Instagram.
Absolutely, bro. Man, Anthony, and I'm going to put all that in the show notes as well. And check out, he ain't mentioned, he too modest about, he be throwing down, Grill Master, be putting some stuff out there. So
I feel like later down the road, when I'm on to the live section of my life, that's where I'm going to own my own place, which is going to be called Antonio's Joint, which isn't far out. I'd say probably 4 years is where I'm going to have it completely ready to go. So,
let's go.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to be there. We're going to be there. I'll eat some meat for that one. All right. How about
that? That's what's up.
Anthony, man, with all the things you could be doing, all the places you could be, I appreciate you being here with me, embracing vulnerability.
Appreciate it, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us in another episode of Vulnerability Muscle. If you've enjoyed these conversations around vulnerability, please consider leaving a review. Your feedback not only motivates us to continue to do the work that we do, but it allows other people to witness the power of vulnerability. Share your thoughts on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or wherever you're listening from. And don't forget to spread the word. You can follow us at Vulnerability Muscle on Instagram, and me personally at Reggie D. Ford across all platforms. Visit vulnerabilitymuscle.com for additional resources and support. And remember, embracing vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It is the source of your greatest strength. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but most workouts are. So keep flexing that vulnerability muscle.